as part of the coverage here for Kyneton. He is one of the part owners, or the owner of a runner in race number 2 in Showbag. Good afternoon to you, Alex. How are you feeling?
Oh, good afternoon, BZ. Yeah, good, thanks. It's we haven't been able to go to the races for a while, the owners, as you know, so this is an interesting way to become a little bit more involved than just watching a show.
Okay, how did you become involved in horse racing? Where did the love start?
Oh, that's a good question. It actually started back in high school in 1967, so that shows you how old I am. A group of us, we used to sit in the back row because we could always get the form guide underneath our desk so we could look at them, but in those days there was a slight problem with that because you had to dodge the dusters and the chalk that was thrown at you by the teacher who was teaching you. There was an advantage of sitting in the back row, of course, because you had a little bit of time to duck and weave if you saw it coming. So I was always interested from that reason. I really don't know how it started. Just my mates and I, we thought we could win on the punt, and 50 years later, we're probably not much wiser. But then I went to university and I was doing mathematics there, so I obviously must have passed high school all right. So the form guide didn't get in the way of my learning, and I found a part-time job with a bookmaker, penciling. And of course, because I was doing mathematics, I was pretty good at adding up and became an expert at dividing by 4, for those who know why. So I went for many years on that side of the fence. So that was always interesting, and learning about the way books are made and not made. Well, you could make a book in those early days. It's probably a bit difficult now. And so I've just always been in love with it, and always had the passion to be involved in horses as an owner, I suppose, because I do like the whole process of buying a horse and then going through the development and the learning and the breaking in and all the jump outs, the trials. So I'd like to go to as many of those as I can. So, and of course, it culminates in race day, where the thrill of winning is been a bit subdued lately. Probably because there's no winners, but also not being there is a real dampener on the whole joy of it all. But look, I understand the reasons, and we're still racing, so that's good.
So you're a keen owner. You've got a number of horses, I understand, with George Osborne.
Yes, I have. Yeah. George is looking after a number for me and doing a fantastic job at it too. So,
what's the expectation like with Showbag today?
Look, I was pretty happy with the 16s this morning that I took each way. I thought that was a bit over the odds, really. He's certainly no superstar, but he's a trier. He's been placed twice in his career. Bit of bad luck. He should have won at Swan Hill about 4 starts ago. So look, I thought the odds were a bit overs, and I think we're an each way chance. If we can get the right run of the race, the track sort of a bit of a worry. I think the rail's out, and there might be a bit leader bias as we saw in the first. But look, each way, I'm hoping we can pick up a check.
And how do you feel on race day? At this point, do you start to feel the nerves as we get closer to the race?
Yeah, you do, particularly if you're there. I think it's not as nervy when you're not there, because you're just not part of the buzz and you're not meeting people and talking to trainers and jockeys and getting a little bit more information that you do on the track. Off the track, you sort of miss a bit of info. You hear things about the way the track's running, or you look into the horse in the mounting yard, and as much as the coverage is good, it's still not quite the replacement of seeing it in the flesh. And so it's always, always nervous.
So you mentioned you've been involved with the sport for the best part of 50 years. Have you had success as an owner? Has there been a horse that stood out for you in your lifetime?
Look, probably certainly not of the ranks that some of the big boys obviously have, but raced a lot of horses. And look, there's a horse racing today which is old Kazoom. He's racing in a race later today. He actually won the Broken Hill Cup and the Roxby Downs Cup, and I'd say that was a lot of fun for anybody that's been to any of those 2 meetings. One was just held recently, or both of them I think were held recently, and it's just a big buzz to win a cup. It doesn't matter where it is, and everyone wants to win the Melbourne Cup, but that's a bit elusive. So Broken Hill was the next best option, and then Roxby Downs. it's a long way to drive to go to the races, I can assure you.
But at least it's a
we won
lot better on the way back if you win.
Oh, yeah, the trip on the way back is always really enjoyable when you got a winner. Absolutely, it's a slow slog if you've done your money and you're backed and you get beaten. But yeah, certainly racing teaches you resilience if you haven't got it. So keep back bouncing for another one. So look, he's an interesting horse. I've got a horse called Gasworks at the moment, racing with George. He's probably won close to 200,000 stakes and just getting back for another prep. So he's a great horse. He's a horse that likes to go out in the front lead and roll along. And I think he did win at Geelong at the start of the year. And Campbell rode him, who's riding Showbag today, and did a fantastic job in picking the right part of the track to get to. And just a lovely horse to watch. And then horse that I think has got a good chance coming up at Wagga in the Town Plate, a horse called Mount Horeb. He's won, I think, 6 races at Albury. Probably should be the club champion there on that record. And we're setting up to get to Wagga and have a crack at the Town Plate because we think he deserves a chance, and he certainly likes that way of going.
Well, so apologies, Alex. I'm just going to have to butt in because we're not too far away from the horses coming into the mounting yard. So I'll let you go. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah,
Good luck here with Showbag, and hopefully you'll be cheering home a winner very, very soon. Stay with us here on racing.com. Back soon with a preview of race number 2 from Collins.